Beneath the gentle sway of the ocean's current, hidden among underwater meadows of seagrass and the twisting arms of coral reefs, lives a creature so enchanting and peculiar it seems to have leapt from the pages of mythology. The seahorse. At first glance, it hardly resembles a fish at all. With the head of a miniature horse, a tail like a monkey's, a body clad in bony armor, and a slow, upright drift through the water, it's a design that seems more whimsical than biological. And yet, it's real. Not only real, but essential. But there's something even more astonishing about seahorses. In their world, the roles of parenthood are flipped. In this rare twist of nature, it's the male who becomes pregnant and gives birth. Yes, nature wrote a different story here, one that feels almost poetic. So, why should we care about this tiny, slow moving creature in a vast and turbulent ocean? Because the story of the seahorse is also a story of partnership, adaptation, and fragile beauty. And more than ever, it's a story at risk of being lost. Let's take a closer look. Seahorses, despite their fragile appearance, are true oddballs of the marine world. They don't have scales like most fish. Instead, their bodies are encased in a series of bony plates, giving them a unique exoskeleton. They swim upright, a rare trait in fish, using a small dorsal fin on their back that beats rapidly to propel them forward. Their pectoral fins, located near their gills, help them steer, though clumsily. And they're slow, really slow. In fact, they're considered one of the slowest swimming fish in the sea. Some scientists have humorously called them the snails of the ocean. But this isn't a disadvantage, it's a strategy. Because seahorses aren't built to chase, they're built to hide. With the ability to change color and grow fleshy filaments that mimic seaweed, seahorses are stealthy masters of camouflage. They anchor themselves to coral or grasses with their prehensile tails, swaying gently in the current, virtually invisible to predator and prey alike. And with eyes that move independently, they can scan in multiple directions without moving a fin. These fascinating creatures are scattered across the globe, inhabiting shallow coastal waters from the Mediterranean to Southeast Asia, from the east coast of the Americas to the coral reefs of Australia. They prefer sheltered environments, seagrass meadows, mangrove roots, estuaries, and coral reefs, where they can cling tightly to vegetation and avoid strong currents. Some species, like the dwarf seahorse, are no larger than a paperclip. Others, like the pot-bellied seahorse, can reach up to a foot in length. But regardless of size, most seahorses are creatures of habit. They often stay within a small territory, sometimes no bigger than a dinner plate, for their entire lives. And here's where the story takes a tender turn. Seahorses are known for forming monogamous pairs, at least during a breeding season, and sometimes for life. Every morning, bonded pairs perform an elegant courtship dance. They change colors, twirl around each other, and often link tails in a quiet, underwater ballet. It's thought that this ritual strengthens their bond and synchronizes their reproductive cycles. When ready to mate, the female approaches the male and uses her ovipositor, a tube-like organ, to deposit eggs into a specialized brood pouch on his abdomen. Inside, the male fertilizes and nurtures the eggs. He adjusts the pouch's salinity and provides oxygen, functioning almost like a placenta. And then, after several weeks, the male gives birth. Through a series of muscular contractions, he expels dozens or even hundreds of tiny, fully formed seahorses into the open water. The birth can last minutes or even hours, depending on the number of babies. It's laborious and exhausting. Some say it even resembles human childbirth. But unlike human babies, these young receive no parental care. From the moment they leave their father's pouch, they're on their own, drifting in the currents and facing a gauntlet of predators. Only about 1 in 1,000 will survive. To eat, seahorses use a feeding technique as strange as their form. They have no teeth and no stomach. Using their long, straw-like snouts, they create a vacuum to suck in plankton and tiny crustaceans like copepods, eating almost constantly to make up for their inefficient digestion. A single seahorse may eat thousands of tiny meals a day. Despite their gentle nature, seahorses are tough survivors, at least they used to be. Today, they're facing unprecedented threats. The greatest danger is the destruction of their habitat. Coastal development, pollution, and climate change are wiping out the very ecosystems seahorses depend on. Coral reefs are bleaching. Mangroves are being cut down. Seagrass beds are smothered by runoff. And in many places, these habitats are vanishing faster than they can recover. Then there's the seahorse trade. Every year, tens of millions of seahorses are caught and dried for use in traditional medicine, particularly in parts of Asia. Others are sold as aquarium pets or tourist souvenirs. Most of these are caught using bottom trawls, massive nets that destroy everything in their path. This relentless harvesting has pushed many seahorse species to the brink. Some populations have declined by more than 70% in just a few decades. The IUCN now lists several species as vulnerable, endangered, or critically endangered. But there is hope. Conservationists around the world are fighting to protect seahorses and the ecosystems they call home. International trade is now regulated under the CITES agreement, which helps monitor and restrict unsustainable exports. Some countries, like the Philippines and Australia, have introduced marine protected areas where seahorses can live and reproduce safely. Marine scientists are also working on captive breeding programs, which allow people to study and enjoy seahorses without taking them from the wild. Education and awareness campaigns are helping people understand that these animals are not decorations or medicine. They are vital members of the marine ecosystem. And we as individuals can help too. Avoid buying dried seahorses or souvenirs made from marine life. Choose sustainable seafood. Reduce your plastic use because plastic pollution harms all ocean life, especially fragile species like seahorses. Support organizations that protect marine habitats. And most of all, share their story. Because this story of a quiet, loyal, upside-down fish is one worth telling. Seahorses are also bioindicators, meaning their presence or absence can signal the health of an ecosystem. When seahorses begin to vanish, it's often a warning that something is wrong beneath the waves. Their decline often mirrors a deeper crisis, a collapse in coral cover, a rise in pollution, or the overharvesting of ocean life. They are like the canary in the coal mine, softly signaling for help. And beyond their ecological role, there's something undeniably symbolic about them. In art, myths, and folklore, seahorses have been messengers, guardians, and good luck charms. Ancient Greeks believed they carried the souls of fallen sailors to the afterlife. In Chinese culture, they were seen as sea dragons, tiny but mighty. Maybe that's why people feel a quiet love for seahorses. They are vulnerable, yet tenacious. They remind us of the importance of balance, of gentle strength, of care between partners. And in a world moving faster than ever, they remind us to slow down, to observe, to protect, to cherish. So let this be more than just a story. Let it be a call to action. Whether you're a diver, a student, a traveler, or simply someone who loves the sea, there is always something you can do. The ocean needs its storytellers just as much as it needs its scientists. The seahorses can't speak for themselves, but we can. And we must. Because when we protect the smallest creatures, we protect the entire web of life that sustains us all. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden life of seahorses, please like this video, share it with a fellow ocean lover, and subscribe for more stories from the deep. And in our next episode, we'll head into the midnight zone of the ocean to discover a creature that glows like a living lantern, the bioluminescent comb jelly. It's one of the ocean's most mesmerizing spectacles. You won't want to miss it. Until then, stay curious, stay kind, and keep exploring. The ocean is calling.